Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? Happy Monday to you. I want to thank everybody for being in the building. Shout out to Jetto Don. Shout out to Walter Davis, I believe I seen in the chat. Let me check. Yeah, shout out Walter Davis in the chat. I want to thank everybody for being in the building. We got to talk about a few things. And mainly, we're just going to point out some stuff about these Democrats. But you already know, before I do all of that, I got to do this.
Please be mindful this show is for 18 years of age and older. All copyright laws will be respected, but this show is intended to use the Fair Use Act of it. Thank you very much.
Please do remember that the New Right Party channel and the New Red Party show is sponsored by patriots like you. And as long as you're sending these donations, it allows me to create the content that will continue to make these motherfuckers sick. As you were.
Versus the family and my family entertainment and his team no sleep. Flossy high and yeah we made it. The haters keep on hating on the songs that we be making, and I heard they want my soul Illuminati wanna take it. Versus the family and my family entertainment and his team no sleep. Flossy high and yeah we made it. The haters keep on hating on the songs that we
Shout out to everybody. What's up, everybody? What's good, man? Feels good to be here. Right? Happy to be here. Happy to be here. Truly, truly happy to be here. So, we're going to talk about some shit today. I want to break some shit down today. Now, if you are black, white, brown, any fucking color whatsoever, and you're poor, and you live in a commonwealth, well, you understand the commonwealth laws can directly mean fuck you whenever they feel like it. Let the stream catch up. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to check the stream to make sure everything's copacetic. Gotta make sure everything's right. Oh, they must. I don't know, cause I say saying something on this, and let me just make sure that it's just this. Let me make sure. Let me just double check. Yeah, it is just this monitor. All right, so this monitor's having an issue. We need to make sure. I'm sorry. So if you live in a commonwealth and you're any one of these colors, you know the laws are fuck you if you're poor. But if you're black and you live, and I know people say, oh, it doesn't matter, but the numbers don't lie. Numbers can't lie. The numbers are there for a specific reason. We're going to get into all the numbers. Because what I need you guys to understand is the Democrats have been a tool of destruction for black people. They've been the racists. They are the racists. They're the ones that's locking up fucking black folks. That's where black people live. We're going to get into some shit.
Meeting with his staff last night. What do you make of this? Should he resign?
Ainsley, he has to resign. He doesn't have a choice. Here's the problem. If they were just Republican attacks coming his way, the media would write it off as just partisan because that's what they do. They protect Democrats. But they're not. This is a unified Democrat front because they can't have this out there. Listen, let's understand the strategy here in a nutshell. The Democrats have to use identity politics and race-based attacks on Republicans. They don't have anything else. They don't actually have ideas. How are they going to do that with a photo of a Ku Klux Klan hood and a guy in blackface in a pivotal, what used to be swing?
See, that's how they control blacks and Hispanics. They control them with the tool of identity politics, racism. Oh, he's a racist. He's a racist. This piece of shit, his whole entire fucking campaign called the Republican that he ran against a fucking racist. Because that's what they do. It's like, and my black folks out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. Because, you know, black folks is good for this shit. It's like the person that steals from you in your house then helps you look for the shit that they got in their pocket. But they will still look through your house for you, looking as if they're going to help you find some shit that they already put in their fucking pockets. You understand? It's like when someone's in your house, stole some shit, and now they're helping you look for it. When you was in school, if someone was teasing you and bullying, in order for them to not get in trouble, they said it was you first. If you got a brother or a sister, whenever you had an argument and your mom was like, who started it? Y'all pointed at each other and said it was him. But you know the person who started it pointed at you first. Pointed at you first. This is what they do. This shit is so simple. It's elementary. Then you letting this big-eared piece of shit, sagging skin motherfucker get y'all votes. All because he said he's a fucking Democrat and he called someone else a fucking racist. And you tend to believe him. Then it comes out that he not only has pictures, but they was calling him the fucking coon man. The fucking coon man. They was calling him the fucking coon man. So then he comes out and he says, oh, that wasn't me in those pictures. Someone put those pictures by me. Why the fuck are they calling you the fucking coon man when you was serving? Why the fuck are they calling you the coon man when you were serving? In the service picture there, his nickname was the coon man. That's what he wanted to be called. The coon man. Why the fuck wouldn't you then say, hey, this is my service picture. I don't want this there. Or when they put that shit by you, you don't know who put it by you, lying piece of shit, because you apologized for it at first. You see how they do? They think you're so fucking stupid that first he thinks that he can take guilt for it, but then he wants to keep his job of raping you and putting your black ass in jail and your poor white ass in jail and your poor brown ass in jail so they can keep that fucking prison labor pumping and jumping, giving them all the fucking dollars.
They can't. He has to go. He has zero political capital.
And shame on Dan Bongino because Dan Bongino said he been knew about it. So if you been knew about it, why the fuck ain't you been say something? Shame on you.
Capital. None. No political capital. He doesn't have any. There is no possible way he can stay in office. He has to resign, and I think he knows that.
Well, he says that it's not him in those photographs. He doesn't know who put those images on his yearbook photo.
So why not all those years ago have it fixed? Why not all those years ago have it fixed? If you found it offensive, then, if it was offensive then, if that's not your character, why wait? How old is this dirtbag? Why wait some 40, 50 years after the photo, or some 40 years after the photo was taken? Why wait some 40 some odd years to after the photo was taken for you to be outraged by it?
But Dan, when you look at the outrage that he generated toward the end of last week over his comments about last day of pregnancy abort.
See, because Democrats realize that abortion affects blacks predominantly. Blacks are predominantly affected by abortion. More blacks are killed in abortion clinics than any other race. So they can't come out and tell you that they're for it because of that, because if they have people who are racist coming out and behind it again, then guess what? Kind of pops that bubble. Well, that's what happened here with Northam. Northam. He comes out, he's a racist. And he wants to kill black babies. Because only a fucking fool would argue that abortion isn't killing off more blacks than anyone else. Only a fucking fool would argue with you that more Planned Parenthood, 88% of Planned Parenthood locations are in the black communities than anywhere else. But blacks only make up 12% of the population. So to find that over 80% of their clinics are in black neighborhoods is fucking crazy.
Abortion, essentially, which has been the law of the land of the Commonwealth of Virginia for a while. When you look at that, the outcry was muted compared to this when it came out later in the day that he had this racist photo on his yearbook.
Right. I'm not surprised here. The Democrats want to avoid this. Did you notice how many people up on the Hill, when asked about his comments on abortion, were...
Imagine if Afeni Shakur would have decided to have an abortion while she was in jail. Now imagine a country where they can force you to do that because you're a convict. This is where we're headed, people. We would have never had a Tupac Shakur.
Oh, I didn't hear them. You didn't hear them? Like, did you not turn on a cable news channel for the last, 48 hours? Are you serious? Of course they heard them. They want to avoid this conversation, but everyone should demand the media cover this like they covered the Todd Aiken comment as well. Remember, when it's an abortion comment by a Republican that the media doesn't like, every single Republican in the country is required to comment on it from now to in perpetuity. I demand every single Democrat throughout the entire presidential election cycle be asked every single day to comment on Northam's comments about infanticide. It's only fair.
That's exactly right. But they won't, of course. As you know, tomorrow night, State of the Union for President Trump, and he gave an interview before the Super Bowl yesterday, talked about Nancy and the non-negotiation that's happening and what it's doing to our country. Listen.
She's costing the country hundreds of billions of dollars, because what's happening is when you have a porous border and when you have drugs pouring in and when you have people dying all over the country because of people like Nancy Pelosi who don't want to give proper border security for political reasons, she's doing a terrible disservice to our country. And on the 15th, we have now set the table beautifully because everybody knows what's going on because of the shutdown.
Do you agree with him?
You know, Ainsley, we live in the dumbest of times. I don't know any elegant way to tell you that. We live in peak stupid right now. I mean, the fact that Nancy Pelosi, what Donald Trump said there is completely reasonable. He has clearly compromised on numerous positions here to get the ball moving here. What's happening?
Well, before we go there, let's talk about this. 69,000 of Virginia residents are locked up in various kinds of facilities. 38,000 are in state prisons. 23,000 are in local prisons. 1,200 are in youth. 800 are involuntarily committed. And 6,400 are in federal custody. Rates of imprisonment have grown dramatically in the last 40 years. It's grown. Now, let's check the demograph. Incarceration rates. Comparing Virginia and founding NATO countries. Over the United States, Virginia is 779. The United States is 698. This is incarceration rates per 100,000 population. Now let's go to here. Virginia's incarceration rates by race, ethnicity, this is 2010. If you think that somehow this chart has changed in 2018, I can tell you that it fucking hasn't. This is the percentage. You're looking at the percentage. Number of people incarcerated by 100,000 per 100,000 people in that racial ethnic group. This is what you're looking at. And it says that whites are understated or underrepresented in the incarceration population, while blacks are overrepresented. Also narrative pushed. See, somehow, what the Democrats aren't telling you is that with them having complete control over Virginia, and since they've had complete control over Virginia, incarceration rates have gone up for everybody. Everybody. It's still high amongst blacks. It's still extremely high amongst blacks, just like the abortion rate is. But now it's grown dramatically with whites as well. Brown. Because these states, even some that aren't Commonwealth, are all mimicking the police states. You gotta have ID to get from here to there. Now, the fucking Constitution is going to get thrown out the window because they want to take away your rights to defend yourself. Some states already have done that, like New York. I wonder what's going on right now. Let me see something. Says live. So why is it saying offline? Oh, YouTube is definitely out here trying to. Do you see? Do y'all see it? It's not me. It's definitely not me. I'm so close to the computer router, I can grab it right now, pick it up, and put it in view. I can assure you that yellow cord is hooked up. That yellow cord is hooked up from that router directly to this Mac. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying, people? Did you see what just happened? Did you see how the stream was just cut? Why was my stream cut? What violence was I advocating? In what way, shape, or form was I advocating any violence? And if I was, shit, they must not let rap music air on YouTube, because YouTube airs rap music all the time, and all I hear is violent content and music. I know I have YouTube songs up. I have a whole YouTube page that I never really did anything with. YouTube, y'all mad. That hate is ugly. To hate the truth, huh? To hate the truth. Democrats have had control over Virginia for the longest, and the only thing they've seemed to do is destroy it for everyone that's there.
We have a $5.6 billion budget request, which in a $4 trillion budget, can we just be candid, is an infinitesimally small amount of money, relatively speaking. I wish it weren't, but it is. And we can't move one bit. A wall is a passive security measure. It doesn't require monitoring 24 hours a day. It works. Pelosi knows it works, and that's why she doesn't want to do it. And you are going to get hurt because of it. It's disgusting.
Well, let's see if the Democrats on the committee break with Nancy Pelosi. We should know by the end of the week. Mr. Bongino, thank you very much for joining us with the post-game analysis.
Hey, good to see you guys.
He coined the term peak stupid.
I saw that.
All right, Jillian has some headlines for us. Hey, Jillian.
That's right. Good morning. And we're following some news out of Georgia. So let's start with this Fox News alert and a search intensifying for a man who ran over a cop. Police say Toreen McShane ran over the Fairburn, Georgia officer with a pickup truck in a convenience store parking lot early this morning. He reportedly took off while being questioned as a suspicious person. The truck was found a few miles away. The officer was rushed to an Atlanta area hospital. No word on his condition.
Nigga, you stupid, nigga. Stupid. And they're gonna catch this nigga and they're gonna make this nigga an example of what kind of nigga you not supposed to be.
A fan caught allegedly sneaking into the Patriots locker room disguised as a security worker. The man seen here in a black cap claimed someone gave him the security jacket. Atlanta police say he was not arrested. It's unclear why he wanted to get inside. Super Bowl security avoiding a repeat of 2017 when a reporter swiped Tom Brady's jersey. President Trump says Tiger Woods played great at his Florida golf club this weekend. The president hitting the links with Tiger and golf legend Jack Nicklaus. President Trump tweeting Tiger, quote, was long, straight, and putted fantastically well. He shot a 64. Tiger is back and will be winning majors again. This was President Trump's first trip to Florida since Thanksgiving. I saw that photo circulate.
So that's some fly shit, man.
And I was like, oh man, can you imagine being...
That's the equivalent of having Michael Jordan and Dr. J at your house in your backyard shooting hoops.
out there with them playing?
Yeah, they needed a fourth.
That's true.
Yes. That's right. All right. Thanks, Jillian.
Wow. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 YouTube 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mike is checking here. One two 1 2. All right, y'all hear me loud and clear? Somebody said that they was having an issue here, and I wanted to check.
All right, one university offering new scholarships, but students who value their faith need not apply. The outrage growing on one campus.
And President Trump's economy not slowing down. Stuart Varney says it's only going to get better, and you're going to hear him say that.
Plus, every story, every 15 minutes. Fox News headlines 24/7, channel 115.
I'm going to let that rock, Fox. I'm going to give y'all that commercial. Y'all owe me a favor.
More winning for the Trump economy. A blockbuster jobs report smashing expectations with 304,000 jobs added in January despite the partial shutdown.
Here to break it all down for what it means for you and your wallet, Stuart Varney from Varney and Company. Stuart, between, we've heard the naysayers say, between the China trade tariff talks and the shutdown, this is going to be a lousy number. It was a blowout number.
It was an absolute blowout number. It really was. People were saying, or the left was saying, leftist economists were saying, they were hoping that the government shutdown would hurt the economy and the China trade tariffs would hurt the economy, and we get a rotten number on jobs creation.
But that didn't happen.
Exact opposite proved to be true. The shutdown didn't have that big an effect, and we got a blowout jobs report. Now we find that America is creating, on average, nearly 250,000 new jobs each and every month.
Every month, 250,000 jobs every month.
Wages are rising at the best rate in about 10 years. And Larry Kudlow, President's economic advisor, he told me Friday that we're going to get 3% economic growth this year. Granted, there'll be ups and downs, but over the year, 3%. That is very strong. That makes America a genuinely standout economy from the rest of the world. Did you know that Europe's almost in recession? Did you know that Japan's in recession? Did you know that China is really slowing down rapidly? But here we are, after the Trump tax...
That means we are fucking shit up, kicking ass, and taking fucking names.
...cuts and the deregulation, we've got a vibrant economy. And I think...
That means that 250,000 jobs every month. Oh shit, let's get this math done, right? Let's see. We said 250,000. That's approximately 3 million jobs per month being added, give or take. $3 million jobs a year is added. That's how many is added. 3 million jobs a year. If 250,000 is added each month, 12 months. Just 250,000. We didn't even add the 3. The extra is extra. That's just icing on the cake. Obama never averaged 3 million jobs per year that I know of. I could be wrong. If anyone knows better, then show me better. But in his first 3 years in office, he didn't have that. And this man has had, so far, he's looking at 9 million jobs total. By the time he completes this year out. Ta-da.
It might get a little better. If we get a meeting between President Trump and Xi Jinping, that's a declaration of intent. You don't organize a meeting if you're going to walk away with no deal whatsoever. If you get a meeting organized, I think you're looking at least a deal of sorts. And that will be very good news for the market and for the economy.
Why did every other forecaster get it differently? Every other prediction I heard for 2019 was time for a downturn. No way this can be sustained. Why the opposite?
I hate to say it, but there are some people in the economics community, egged on by the leftist media, who want America to fail.
Sure.
Because our success is the result of Trump's tax cuts and Trump's deregulation. Anything Trump is bad, according to the media and the left.
Do you think February numbers will be just as good?
I don't know. I wouldn't want to forecast February's numbers. Right. What I'm saying is they're going to be ups and downs.
This man is smart, you know. He's smart. His barber is far more intelligent. How do you cut this type of style? I'm inquiring. I want to know. This style is it's different. It's different. It's different. How do you ask for the cut? Like I don't. Okay.
By quarter, month by month. But overall, 3% growth looks definitely doable, especially if we're going to deal with China.
Pretty incredible in the middle of a shutdown.
It really is.
Just imagine if there hadn't been a shutdown, what the number would be.
Right.
But Stuart, numbers like this that you're detailing, those, the president's looking at those numbers thinking, this is going to be a slam dunk at re-election because, when you have a growing economy, it does not hurt him at re-election time.
Have you
Live free or die? Text the show's number.
seen what the Democrats are doing running up to 2020?
Yeah.
We now have a proposal to raise Social Security taxes, raise the estate tax, raise the income tax, introduce a new wealth tax. I'm serious.
I know you are.
Those
It's
are
a
all
binary choice.
They're all proposals on the table to rapidly increase taxes in this country, just as we're seeing the prosperity from tax cuts. Can you believe it?
Oh, I
Work
can.
a little harder. Don't ever retire, Stuart.
Watch them at 9 o'clock on Fox Business if you want more of this, and I know you do.
Retire more?
No, you can't. You can't afford it.
All right. Coming up on Fox and Friends, we've got Bill Bennett. We're going to get his take on a lot of things happening, including Governor of Virginia. Will he?
Here are some quick headlines for you. New York City could soon ban foie gras over concerns of animal abuse. A councilwoman is pushing for a ban on the popular French dish that is made from fattened goose liver. If it does become law,
It's a goose's liver. So you can eat the liver of any other animal, of a cow or anything else, but you can't eat the liver of a goose. Do you understand what's happening, people, man? Look what the fuck is happening.
violators could face up to $1,000.
I don't even eat fucking meat, and I fucking believe this is fucking absolutely ridiculous.
In fines and a year in jail. Wow. And Western Kentucky University offering new scholarships, but not for faith-based projects. A school official telling Campus Reform that, quote, evangelizing would disqualify students from the $15,000 service awards. She said the program targets a variety of learning experiences and denied any bias.
You know why? Because they got to keep God and faith out of school systems, because God and faith instills morals, and it keeps you from drinking and using drugs and saying fuck the government and dumb shit like that.
Okay, wonderful. Overnight, Democratic Virginia Governor Ralph Northam holding an urgent staff meeting as more members...
Because he let them know, y'all going to have to look for jobs. Y'all going to have to look for jobs. And he asking people... I thought about staying regardless of the point just to see what they would say, and everybody looked at him like. And then he was like, yeah. And so I decided that I won't. I'm gonna back out. The sad shit is this though. The man who he was running against should be able to become governor. He would have won fair and square had there not been so much filth smeared on his name by this fucking racist. How the fuck are the Democrats for you, but in every city they fucking control, there are more people locked the fuck up than anywhere the fuck else? How is that securing your rights as a person? I'm just asking.
Members of his own party calling him to step down.
He's lost the authority to lead. He's lost the authority to govern. He has to resign. But what's that picture where
now they can go after him?
Blackface and the Klansmen came out. There is no way you can continue to be the governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia.
And he needs to resign immediately to stop the pain in Virginia and, frankly, around the nation.
So, will the governor quit? Here to weigh in, Fox's contribute.
What she really meant was he needs to hurry the fuck up and resign, because he's making everyone who's a Democrat look bad. All of us house niggas that knew about that shit in the first place but kept our fucking mouths shut. Oh, we gonna look bad because we got a lot of pictures with this motherfucker. He got a lot of pictures with us too. So we just asking him to bow out gracefully, take what he got and go about his fucking business and never show his face again. Because that's what's going to have to happen. He's not going to be able to run for any kind of office again. What job will he, where will he go for a job? Where is he going to work? The man's just been outed as a straight fucking racist. Over is over. But the sad shit is, it wasn't until you seen pictures of the shit that people started to have an issue with him. No one had an issue about him when he's a fucking physician that's calling for infanticide.
Contributor and former education secretary under President Ronald Reagan, Bill Bennett. Bill, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning. Okay, so last week, first thing you know, on Friday, he apologized for the photograph, and then on Saturday he said, you know what, I'm not going to quit because that's not me in the image. However, since then, all these prominent Democrats and Democrats across the Commonwealth of Virginia have said, Mr. Governor, you have got to quit today.
Yeah, no, he's gone. He may not know he's gone, but he's gone. Pete, the Princeton graduate, will remember the gravedigger scene from Hamlet, right, Pete?
Of course.
How long a man be dead before he realizes it? He's gone, and they want him gone. And what's very important to realize is why they want him gone. Of course, this picture was deeply offensive, but they had another reason to want him gone. And I'm glad Pete brought that up earlier in the debate segment.
Because he calls himself the Coon Man.
First hour, which is the whole abortion question, this late third trimester or even fourth trimester abortion. He was an embarrassment to the party. They would not speak to it, the Democrat leaders, to his opinions, to that famous radio interview. And the way to get rid of the message is to get rid of the messenger. There's an urgency in getting him out for at least two reasons.
So you believe the Democrats even believe that third trimester abortion is egregious?
I don't know, actually. I think a lot of them actually agree with it, but they don't like to talk about it publicly. It's the public embarrassment. Look at the numbers. They know this is not a winner. In their heart of hearts, I don't know what's in their heart of hearts. I do know a lot of them, as you saw from that testimony in the state legislature, and you saw in New York, lighting the building with pink. A lot of them really do believe it, and it is embarrassment. It's a horror, and it's a political loser.
It's become a celebration for them, no doubt.
That's right.
Yeah, and they're going to fucking lose. Watch.
Mr. Secretary, we just got new sound of the president in his interview with CBS, and he talked about how Democrats in 2020 are not going to win on issues like impeachment and abortion. Listen.
The only way they can win, because they can't win the election, is to bring out the artificial way of impeachment. And the problem is you can't impeach somebody for doing the best job of any president in the history of our country. And the only way they can win, I look at these folks with the horrible situation right now on abortion, where they're saying late term. They're not even talking about late term. They're talking about the baby is born and they can kill this child, this innocent child. If you look at what they're running on, they can't win. So the only way they could possibly beat me, because they're not going to win the election.
Yeah, I mean, he feels like it's not just good policy to defend life, but good politics.
It is, and they have taken a sharp left turn on this issue, on the borders, on taxes, on Medicare. This is partly Trump derangement syndrome, but it's also partly just their shock at his election. And the frankness and directness with which he speaks. There was a kind of torpor developing with Obama, the moderate speech, the easy, professorial manner. Trump comes along, the president comes along, a splash of cold water in the face, they react, and now they're reacting, violating Newton's law, not an opposite and equal reaction, but an opposite and greater reaction. And they need to be worried that they're going off the cliff.
All right. Well, we're all watching Fox Nation. We're all subscribers to that wonderful service. And I know you have a show, Wise Guys. What's the latest episode?
The latest episode is in California, and I asked the question, Ainsley, is this our future? Are we all going to want to be like California is now? I certainly hope not. But we talked to a distinguished group of Californians about it. I'd like us to be more like South Carolina.
Well, one of those wise guys, you're a wise guy, so is Dennis Prager. This is part of what he had to say about education.
If a high school senior in the United States in a good school knows what an adverb is, what an adjective is, as I said, they know about global warming, but basic stuff, teachers' unions support everything that undermines my country, in my view, and I am then supposed to feel bad, and I do. I feel bad for the individual teacher, but I'm sorry. Your union is a destructive force in America.
And this is near and dear to your heart because, Bill Bennett, you know, what's happened to educating our kids in American schools these days?
It means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's a disaster. We're no better off than we were 30 years ago. I'm not a wise guy. I'm the Bill Belichick. I wish I were. Huh?
The orchestrator.
But no, this is a very good panel and it's a good show. We're delighted it's taken off, and thanks for the attention to it.
Yeah, there you go. If you don't have Fox Nation yet, you should check it out. Go to foxnation.com. There's some great shows on it. We all do shows on it. Bill Bennett's on it. I saw somebody describe it as Netflix for conservatives. You got a lot of people.
And this episode is there right now of Wise Guys.
So, Bill, you're not going to get California tattooed across your stomach, are you?
Nope, we've got to break down some shit about this border.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Secretary, thank you very much. Have a great Monday. Appreciate it. All right. Well, moving on to another subject. Hundreds of migrants lined up for buses this morning as the caravan closes in on the U.S. border. We'll check back in with Griff, live in Mexico, coming up.
Plus, Brian is live in Atlanta playing Monday morning quarterback after the Super. Loved her last night. But let me give you a look here at the migrants that are queued up. Is getting help from the government of Mexico.
Some of them even sending a message to President Trump as they close in on the U.S. border.
Griff Jenkins is live with the caravan as they make their final push. Griff.
Yeah, they're making their final push. They've just got less than 300 miles. But let me give you a look here at the migrants that are queued up here. This is the caravan that began on January 15th in Honduras, and there's upwards of about 2,000. In the state of Coahuila, Mexico, the northernmost to the Texas border, is providing the support, lining them up in an orderly fashion. You can see them. Let's just take you through the line here. And you know what's interesting as you look at this is the makeup of this caravan as opposed to the last one. The last one predominantly male. This one, about 50%, guys, of family units coming in. But what they'll do is they'll come through this line and they'll work their way back to get the support, and they get a little bit of food. There were some blankets here, although it's warming up now. And they'll come here and they'll get some fruit, maybe some breakfast, pastries, and this sort of thing. And here they come. We'll just get a little bit out of their way and back up, Stephen, if you can, as we come through to not obstruct the process. But here's really the most telling part is as you turn around here, we'll show you they're getting on 50 buses being provided by the state of Coahuila, which will get them in about 5 hours drive time to the town of Piedras Negras. It is across the border from Eagle Pass, Texas. And we talked to some of the migrants. Many of them say they're going to try and cross illegally. This is Antonio from El Salvador. He wouldn't tell us exactly where he's going to do it, but here's what he said.
For security reasons, so you cannot say which way you're going to take. Guys, plus if you, Mr. Donald Trump, you're watching, so I don't think you're going to, I can't tell you where you're going to go get to in your country.
So let me just tell you, yesterday we had the governor of Coahuila, Miguel Riquelme, that was giving the migrants a bit of pep talk, some support. But clearly, when it comes to the question about whether or not the governments of Mexico, from the southern states all the way to the northern states, have assisted and cooperated and helped their journey, they have indeed. And we've seen it firsthand, and it sends a very clear message to the care.
Don't be surprised when you see that same joke on the news. Getting his ass deported.
Caravans behind it, one on Thursday starting on the 7th, another one starting on the 16th. Meanwhile, the Pentagon sending almost 4,000 troops over the weekend, announcing sending troops to the, down to the border. That's going to be certainly coming to a bit of a loggerhead here at some point between the two governments. Guys?
300 miles is a long way to walk, but you've got these buses taking there. They could get there.
Super organized.
Could get there the next day or so. All right. Thank you, Griff.
It's amazing.
41 minutes after the top of the hour, President Trump nominating 2 conservative judges to one of the most liberal courts in our country. Why our next guest says this is the right move for our nation's courts.
Plus, remember these singing contractors who went viral? EOF. Good morning, guys. You're coming up.
Good morning. Welcome back. A Fox News alert. 5 people are dead and 2 injured after a small plane breaks apart midair and crashes into a Southern California home. The pilot and 4 people inside the home were killed. The house erupting in flames, sending panicked neighbors into the street. The FAA says the Cessna plane took off from a small airport about a dozen miles away from that crash scene. A baker takes back his apology over cookies with the message, "Build the wall." Kenneth Bellingham originally said he would stop making the treats after some people called them racist. But now he says it's his First Amendment right.
Am I supposed to be quiet because I can't write what I want? Or I can only write what they want or what makes them happy? No, that's not how it is. They can write whatever they want on their own cookie. And I can do that on mine.
The Washington State baker
Let him write what he want to write on his motherfucking cookie.
says he originally made the cookies for someone in his family, but he's now selling them by the dozens. Let's look at your headlines. Pete, I'll send it to you.
Jillian? Well, the White
supremacists love gay black people because they understand that they feel like they conquered them. That's why Dems do that. That's why Dems keep blacks locked up. That's why Dems keep killing blacks. That's why they know they have control over the black communities. It's a big joke to them that they get to continuously kill off a bunch of fucking black people while simultaneously having these fucking black people asking for them to do it to them. Democrats know exactly what they're doing. It's a joke. It's one big joke to them. They're all having a great time as they watch these people suffer. As they continuously allow foods to be introduced that alter individuals chemically and are producing these homosexuals. And people can say, "Oh, he's wrong," but no, I'm not. I'm not wrong. I've showed it on this show before, and if I have to, I'll show it on here again. In order for you to not realize the power that you have to be first believing that you are a victim. What am I saying? What am I saying? Victims don't have power. Victims don't believe that they have power. Victims often find themselves victimized because they're susceptible to it. And if you have the mind state that somehow you're a victim, you'll continue to allow people to treat you fucked up. But when you wake up and you realize that you are hiring these scumbags and you got the right to fire these scumbags, when you wake up and you realize it's okay to miss 3-4 days of work if I got to get with every single other American to march on Washington, D.C. to make these people quit. But at some point, this just may have to happen. We have a bunch of people coming here, and some of the families do need help. And there should be a system put in place that allows these people to get help. But as you can see, the Democrats don't give a fuck about doing that because they could have been got that done. That shit could have been done. If they really gave a fuck, it could have been done. It could have been done. The DACA shit could have been done. All that shit could have been done. So all the shit they was talking about, the wall, we got a lot of fake ass rhinos in there, globalists acting like Republicans, and they weren't. They weren't. They were not for this president. That's why people like Paul Ryan exited out when he was so fucking young. Think about it. He didn't support the president. He doesn't support the wall. It's not even a fucking true wall. It's just barriers in certain fucking places. All these people get to sleep comfortable at night. Every last one of them. None of them are concerned with being pulled over by a cop, good or bad. They got drivers and shit like that. None of them is worrying about illegal aliens taking their jobs. Why? Because they're already taking your money. And then they get in there good with banks and other corporations, and then when they leave, they go and work for them. And then use their pull that they have with people in Washington who's their friends to lobby. Shit is simple. Shit is simple. The American people may have to come together in awesome and strong might and force these individuals to step down. And that's from all sides of the aisle. Doesn't matter what political party that you are with, were with, none of that matters. At this point in time, we have children in the future that we need to protect for them. And it's our responsibility to do it. No one else right now has the time to do it like we do right now, especially with the president that we have right now. And now is the time to do it. It's not this year, it could be next year. We need this march. And we need this shit to be so fucking big that it looks like his inauguration. Seriously, or jokes aside. We need to tell these politicians they need to step the fuck down. We need to get rid of them. People who took an oath of office and it's clear that they are not standing by it, they need to be relieved of their duties. People like Homo Como needs to be relieved of his duties. You don't find pride in allowing anyone to kill an innocent baby. Why offer them murder when you can actually offer them health care and protection? Why is this you offered free college and health care for illegals in that state, but you didn't offer any women free prenatal health care? Why is the alternative to life always death instead of cultivating life? Because the majority of lives lost through abortion are black ones. The majority of people suffering under democratic rule are black. But the problem is you keep voting for them. And you keep voting for black people who identify as democratic when that shit has never worked for you in the first place. So all the people that ask me, what is this about, or what am I doing? I hope that these last couple shows have made you think. Seriously. I hope that in some way, shape, or form, you've heard what I said, but you actually heard what the fuck I said. And you wake the fuck up. Find out who the true fucking problem is. No one key and ha-haing with these motherfuckers are your friend. Remember that shit too. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay American. But before we go, let me let my guys get done a second time.
You know I'm big on fashion. Check out srgfashion.com for the best suits you can get. Look great being conservative. And also, check out dogspurpose.com for job placement programs as well as vocational training for the future. Stay American, stay great.
I want to tell you, stay safe, stay healthy, stay American. Thank you for tuning into the show. And remember, fuck the other side, bitch. We don't care.